The internet is in absolute chaos as the latest wave of love and hip-hop Atlanta drama erupts. And at the center of it all is the explosive confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost, a clash that fans claim might be one of the most shocking moments of the season. Social media timelines burst open within minutes, hashtags climbed the charts, and fan pages began dissecting every second of the rumored incident as people tried to piece together exactly what triggered the firestorm. Eyewitness accounts suggest that tension didn't just appear out of nowhere. There was a heavy energy in the room the moment both women stepped in, an unspoken awareness that something wasn't right, as if everyone felt a storm brewing that nobody could stop. According to circulating whispers, the argument sparked when comments about Mandeecees Harris and the alleged secret affair resurfaced, a topic many believed had been buried but clearly still carried emotional weight. What began as side-eye exchanges and firm tones quickly grew into a whirlwind of raised voices, sharp responses, and a level of intensity fans didn't expect from two women who seemed to have mutual respect just weeks before. The moment footage, or at least alleged footage, began spreading online. The narrative went wild. Some viewers insist Yandy stood her ground with confidence. Others argue Rasheeda wasn't about to let disrespect slide. And many believe the confrontation exposes deeper cracks in their friendship that have been forming for months. Commentators and fan pages are posting frame-by-frame breakdowns. Bloggers are speculating motivations. And even cast members are dropping cryptic reactions, making the situation feel even more dramatic. What has kept the story boiling is the emotional undertone. This isn't just gossip or a random argument. This feels personal, layered, and connected to unresolved issues no one expected to explode publicly. As the noise spreads, fans are now taking sides, defending their favorite, challenging the circulating narratives, and questioning whether this moment will permanently shift alliances within the cast. One thing is absolutely certain. This drama has taken over every corner of the internet, and people are eager for answers, receipts, and explanations about what truly led to such a heated public showdown between two major reality TV powerhouses. The earliest accounts of the confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost paint a picture of a moment that escalated far faster than anyone expected, with multiple witnesses claiming the tension became visible the second the two women found themselves in the same room during filming. According to people present, what started as a calm discussion about recent cast drama took a sharp turn when a comment tied to the long-circulating rumors surrounding Mandeecees Harris slipped into the conversation, instantly shifting the energy from casual to confrontational. Some say Yandy appeared caught off guard. Others insist she walked in already defensive. But nearly everyone agrees that Rasheeda's tone changed, first firm, controlled, but carrying a hint of frustration that suggested this issue had been building for longer than the public realized. A few bystanders claim Rasheeda tried to keep the conversation adult, while others argue she was the one pushing the topic past its limits, determined to get clarity on the whispers floating around social media and among cast members. As voices rose slightly, production reportedly paused for a moment, unsure if things would calm down or explode further. And even the crew members on set could sense the pressure rising. People near the scene say that Yandy didn't hesitate to defend herself, stepping forward with her own questions and demanding to know why her name and her marriage was being discussed without her present. Onlookers describe the shift like a spark hitting gasoline. Rasheeda responded with equal intensity, insisting she was addressing what everyone else was already talking about behind the scenes. The confrontation gained momentum quickly, and those who witnessed it claimed the cast nearby froze, watching as two women known for their composure let the frustration, the misunderstandings, and the long-ignored tensions spill out in real time. Word spread among crew members before filming even wrapped, and by the time the cast left the set, early versions of the story were already circulating online, each one slightly different and each one adding more fuel to the fire. Some say Rasheeda walked away feeling justified. Others believe Yandy left the encounter even more frustrated. But the most consistent detail from every witness is clear. This wasn't a petty disagreement. This was the beginning of a conflict powerful enough to shake the entire narrative surrounding their relationship on Love and Slut. And Hip Hop Atlanta. Witness reports and tense atmosphere. The heavily talked about confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda. Frost shocked the entire reality TV community, and the details now emerging have made the drama even more explosive. Many on set, including cast members, crew members, and regular insiders of the show, all confirmed that the moment Yandy and Rasheeda were in the same room, the air pressure changed. Literally everyone could feel shift. According to some witnesses, Yandy's tone was defensive from the start, as if she was already mentally prepared for a confrontation, while Rasheeda's body language was calm but stern, meaning she wasn't there to play, but she wasn't planning to lose control either. Reports say that the conversation initially started with simple questions. But as soon as the topic of Mandeecees' alleged secret affair came up, the tension inside the room reached its peak. Witnesses described that both ladies were talking while looking straight into each other's eyes. No smile, no fake politeness, no casual TV attitude, just raw emotions. Some crew members also said that as their voices got louder, everyone started adjusting their positions, as if a physical turn could happen any second. A witness said that Rasheeda repeatedly tried to keep things straight, fact-based, but Yandy reacted by taking everything as a personal attack, which further intensified the situation. People from the other side said that Yandy felt that Rasheeda was unnecessarily interfering in Mandeecees' private life, whereas Rasheeda simply demanded accountability and truth. A few cast members tried to quietly intervene, but the desperation and heated energy was so high that no one's voice really mattered. An insider revealed that when the argument was at its peak, it got so silent between their lines that only their heavy breathing could be heard. A kind of silence that comes right before something major happens. Witnesses claim the two were standing side by side, inches apart. And if someone hadn't intervened and created space, things might have crossed a line. The overall vibe was that the entire set was emotionally charged, cameras rolling, crew frozen, and cast shocked as if everyone was waiting for an unexpected explosion. Looking back on this entire scenario, one thing becomes clear. Whatever happened between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost wasn't just a casual misunderstanding. It was deeply emotional, intensely personal, and dangerously close to physical. Escalation, accusations, harsh words, and intervention. The real explosion of this confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost occurred when things escalated from mere angry exchanges to outright accusations. And what the cameras captured became one of the most heated moments in reality TV history. While the topic of Mandeecees Harris' alleged secret affair was already in the air, Rasheeda reportedly asked Yandy why she was acting like there was nothing to address. And that question became the trigger point of the confrontation. Yandy's reaction was instant. There was no pause, no breathing room. She directly blamed Rasheeda for stirring up gossip for the storyline and intentionally targeting her family. According to witness reports, Yandy's voice suddenly pitched up, as if she was emotionally overwhelmed, while Rasheeda responded equally strongly, saying that she doesn't need fake drama for clout and that she only confronted her because the rumors were getting out of control. Meanwhile, both of them called each other harsh labels like fake, two-faced, opportunist, and the conversation quickly went into a toxic spiral. Crew members also feared that if someone did not intervene immediately, the confrontation could escalate to a physical level, as both of them were in very close proximity to each other. Gestures, aggressive tones, out of control, and emotional stakes at their highest. Multiple sources said there was a moment where Yandy raised her hand not to hit, but in a sharp, expressive gesture, and Rasheeda immediately stepped back, causing the crew to panic. Cast members like Sierra and Bambi reportedly tried to calm them down, but both were so charged up they wouldn't listen to anyone. Despite the intervention, the accusations continued. MD accusing Rasheeda of humiliating her publicly and using Mandeecees' name for drama, while Rasheeda insisting that she wouldn't have said anything if the rumors weren't already floating around heavily. An insider claimed that Yandy's frustration had grown to such an extent that she was almost in tears but refused to step back. While Rasheeda's combat-sharp delivery further heated up the entire situation. The intensity was so much that even after the crew physically guiding them apart, both left the room shouting at each other. This pure escalation made one thing crystal clear: the Yandy Smith versus Rasheeda Frost confrontation wasn't just typical reality TV shade. It was a deeply personal, emotionally explosive, an intervention-demanding meltdown that even the crew found difficult to contain. Tone and body language breakdown. The silent but powerful exchange between Yandy Smith and Kirk Frost during the larger confrontation added another unexpected layer to the entire drama. As while Rasheeda, Frost, and Yandy were openly clashing, Kirk's body language, tone, and emotional shift quietly stunned everyone. According to witnesses, when tensions peaked and Yandy and Rasheeda verbally locked horns, Kirk initially stood wall-side with arms crossed, a classic controlled but observing stance, making it clear he was evaluating the situation without jumping in. His posture was stiff, shoulders tight, suggesting he was both uncomfortable and annoyed. Especially when the conversation touched on the Mandeecees' alleged affair and family dynamics. At one point, witnesses noticed Kirk clench his jaw, a subtle body cue that normally occurs when someone is holding back their opinion or swallowing frustration. And this moment proved he wasn't taking the argument lightly. As Yandy's voice rose and the accusations became harsher, Kirk leaned forward slightly, arms crossed and hands on hips. An assertive but restrained stance, signaling that he was seconds away from stepping in if things crossed a line. Meanwhile, Yandy's body language was completely different in front of Kirk. Instead of the confrontational posture she used with Rasheeda, Yandy's expression was more pleading and defensive in Kirk's direction, as if she were indirectly seeking reassurance or validation. Kirk, on the other hand, maintained a neutral but firm face, eyes narrowed slightly, indicating that he was processing every word without letting emotions leak out. When the confrontation escalated slightly, Kirk reportedly gave a sharp exhale, a visible sign of irritation, and when he finally tried to intervene, his tone was low, steady, and authoritative, making it clear that he wanted to cool down the situation but without taking sides. Rasheeda sighed, Kirk's body language equally telling this when he looked at her. His brows were slightly raised, signaling a mix of concern and disbelief. Overall, this breakdown of tone and body language shows that Yandy versus Kirk's silent dynamic is the confrontation's unseen tension builder. Yandy emotionally shaken, looking for someone to understand her, while Kirk stood firm, analytical, controlled, and visibly bothered by how fast things spiraled, making this moment one of the most psychologically layered segments of the entire drama. Possible backstory: buildup of unspoken tension, the confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost that has gone viral today likely wasn't the result of a single day, but rather months of quietly brewing tension that finally exploded on the set of Love and Hip Hop. According to industry insiders, a surface-level friendship always existed between the two ladies, but there were many unresolved issues that were never openly discussed, and these buried emotions now surfaced in the form of a meltdown. Rumors say Yandy always felt that Rasheeda unnecessarily opined on Mandeecees matters, which made her feel uncomfortable publicly. But because the two had strong on-camera chemistry, this was never highlighted. On the other hand, Rasheeda was reportedly annoyed that Yandy never openly addresses things and always tries to avoid the spotlight when it comes to her personal life, especially when fans and bloggers repeatedly raise Mandeecees controversies. Some insiders say that 3 major tensions had already built between the two. Once, when Yandy ignored Rasheeda's suggestion at a storyline crossover meeting. Another time when Rasheeda was asked a personal question about Yandy in press interviews, and Yandy indirectly blamed media manipulation. And a third time when an off-camera conversation during a cast Dinner escalated to harsh tones, but the two smoothed it over the next day. These unresolved fragments piled up. And when rumors of Mandeecees' alleged secret affair started trending, that became the spark to ignite a long-overdue confrontation. Insiders say both were also carrying their own personal struggles, Yandy dealing with outside pressure, social media criticism, and family stress. Rasheeda was balancing her marital journey and public expectations. These silent pressures were multiplying both of their reactions, which naturally lowered their tolerance. A close associate also shared that Yandy already felt that people judge her relationship without understanding the whole picture. And when Rasheeda introduced direct questioning, it triggered pent-up insecurities. Meanwhile, Rasheeda felt that Yandy always avoided accountability, and this time she was in no mood to back down. Ultimately, the viral argument we all witnessed wasn't a reaction to a single rumor. It was a slow-burning fuse that finally exploded into an emotional explosion, revealing that the Yandy Smith versus Rasheeda Frost feud was actually the result of unspoken grudges, misunderstandings, and years of silent tension. The emotional peak, cracked voice, heavy silence when this confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost reaches its absolute emotional peak. The entire scene suddenly becomes unpredictable, raw and unsettling, where unspoken pain and built-up pressure, more than anger, come to the fore, shocking everyone. According to witnesses, after the two had hurled accusations and harsh words at each other, there came a moment when Yandy's voice literally cracked. That was the moment when the crowd realized for the first time that this confrontation was not just reality TV drama, but also hidden, real emotional wounds. Yandy, who is usually articulate, composed, and in control, suddenly lost her voice, instantly changing the energy in the room. People described everyone freezing for a second as if confronted by an unexpected emotional truth. Her breathing was uneven, her eyes were glassy, and instead of speaking aggressively, she began to desperately explain, making it clear that the confrontation had hit a personal nerve much deeper than what the cameras usually show. Rasheeda also visibly shifted at this moment, where previously her tone had been sharp and confrontational. Now her facial expression stiffened, appearing confused and conflicted, as if she was simultaneously hurt and shocked that Yandy had become emotional by this point. The second part of this emotional peak was the heavy silence that suddenly spread through the room, a kind of silence where no one stopped shouting, but rather emotions become so intense that words fail. Crew members reported that in this silence, both ladies stared at each other, with absolutely no movement, no gestures, only deep breathing and hurt-filled pauses. One witness said that you could literally feel the air thickening. That's how emotionally saturated the atmosphere had become. Kirk Frost's reaction was also notable at this moment. He looked visibly concerned for the first time, as if he sensed that this argument was not just a disagreement, but someone heading towards an emotional breakdown. Even Rasheeda, who usually knows how to handle criticism, took a step back in silence, her eyes downward, as if she too was gaining clarity that the fight might have gone too far. Yandy's cracked voice and that unbearable silence combined to create the most humanizing, most vulnerable, and most memorable moment of this confrontation, where two strong women in front of the cameras took off their masks for a second and exposed their true hurt, making this emotional peak the heart of the entire Yandy Smith versus Rasheeda Frost meltdown, cooling down, apologies, clarifications, and reflection. After the intensity of the confrontation between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost that shook the entire set, the cooling down phase seemed almost surreal. Because when emotion, ego, and volume have both peaked, returning to calmness is an emotional journey in itself. According to witnesses, after a heavy silence, the crew moved the two into separate rooms to give them breathing space. And this separation became the starting point where clarity and self-reflection quietly initiated. Yandy, who moments earlier was in a cracked voice and emotional overflow, was now visibly calmer but still shaken. She reportedly told her close cast members that she never wanted it to get this far, and that she was simply defending her family and her dignity. Rasheeda, on the other hand, was equally reflective. Insiders say that when the entire scene was replayed to her, she genuinely felt that maybe her delivery was too sharp, and perhaps her intentions were misinterpreted. When the two were finally brought back together in a controlled environment, the first few seconds were awkward, uncomfortable, and cautious, as if both were trying to read each other's reaction. Then, in a slow, measured tone, Rasheeda clarified that her purpose wasn't to attack Yandy's marriage, but to address circulating rumors because they impact everyone. Whether on-screen or off-screen. Yandy also acknowledged in a soft tone that she reacted defensively, because anything involving Mandeecees automatically becomes emotional for her, especially when she already faces social media pressure. At one point, Yandy's eyes again slightly teared up when she said, "I just felt cornered." And Rasheeda respectfully listened without interrupting. This was the subtle shift where confrontation slowly entered the healing phase. Eventually, the two exchanged a mutual mini-apology, Rasheeda for her tone, Yandy for her escalation, without forcing blame or guilt on anyone. Witnesses say that at the end, when both took a deep breath and softly concluded, "We should have talked earlier," that moment proved that as loud as their fight was, their resolution could be just as mature. The last few minutes of the cooling down phase were genuinely reflective. Both ladies realized that unspoken tension, social media toxicity, and the pressure of public relationships shaped their reactions. This moment wasn't just reconciliation, it was a rare glimpse of vulnerability, honesty, and growth, which made Yandy Smith versus Rasheeda Frost turn the confrontation not just into a drama, but into a real tapestry of human emotion. Fan reaction, speculation, and wider fallout. As soon as the Yandy Smith versus Rasheeda Frost confrontation leaked onto the internet, fan reaction was instant, explosive, and deeply divided. The love and hip-hop community has always been drama-sensitive, but this time, the emotional intensity and crossing of personal boundaries that viewers witnessed created a storm on social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram Reels, TikTok edits, and Reddit threads literally reached hundreds of thousands of views in hours, with people analyzing frame by frame who escalated first, whose body language was defensive, and whose tone was unnecessarily harsh. Some fans openly sided with Yandy, saying she was clearly overwhelmed, hurt, and pushed into a corner, and that Rasheeda's approach was too blunt and insensitive. On the other hand, an equally loud crowd defended Rasheeda, arguing that simply being straightforward and demanding accountability was not an attack. Fan wars became so intense that hashtags #Team Yandy, #Team RASHEEDA, and #Who Started It reached trending lists. Amidst the chaos, speculations and conspiracies also began to circulate heavily, some said. The entire scene was producer pushed to boost ratings, while others claimed the drama was real, but the editing would twist the narrative. Kai fans also shone a spotlight on Mandeecees' alleged affair rumors, sharing multiple unverified stories and anonymous comments, further complicating the situation. Wider fallout was also noticeable. Celebrity bloggers instantly created reaction videos. Podcast hosts uploaded lengthy breakdowns, and even ex-cast members fueled public curiosity by sharing cryptic posts. The ripple effect was clearly felt within the show as well-cast members began to form divided cliques, some sympathizing with Yandy's emotional breakdown, while others labeled Rasheeda a truth speaker. Producers reportedly worried that the tone of upcoming episodes had become unpredictable. As this confrontation disrupted multiple storylines, brands and PR teams are also quietly monitoring the situation, especially those with endorsement deals linked to Yandy or Rasheeda, as negative publicity can sometimes shake sponsorship stability. Lastly, fans' biggest debate was this fight necessary? And were both ladies secretly hurt? And finally, everything spilled out. Overall, Fan reaction elevated this controversy from a simple reality TV moment to a full-scale cultural conversation where loyalty, truth, marriage, friendship, and public pressure all merge into a single narrative, creating online buzz to this day. Closing call-to-action questions for viewers. As intense, emotional, and deeply layered as this entire breakdown of the Yandy Smith versus Rasheeda Frost showdown was, it also served as a reminder to the love and hip-hop universe that sometimes, beneath the on-screen chemistry, real pressure, real hurt, and real misunderstandings quietly build. And then one day, all that hidden tension comes to a head in an explosive moment, as we saw in this confrontation. Now that the entire incident has gone viral online, fans are sharing divided opinions, and cast members themselves are feeling its ripple effects. One thing is clear: this scene will permanently shift the tone of upcoming episodes. Whether it's Yandy's emotional journey, Rasheeda's stance, or Kirk's quietly observant role, now the question is, how do you view this entire situation? Was Yandy genuinely overwhelmed and misunderstanding? Or was Rasheeda's direct approach justified because ignoring certain topics only fuels misunderstanding? And was Mandeecees' controversy really the original trigger for this meltdown? Or was it simply the overflow of years of pressure, unspoken issues, and personal battles? The opinions of you viewers are the most important part of this drama, because shows like Love and Hip Hop evolve not just through cast feuds, but also through audience interpretation and engagement. So let us know in the comments section, which side are you on? Hashtag Team Yandy or hashtag Team Rasheeda. And most importantly, what do you think both ladies should do to move forward? An honest, sit-down conversation, mutual boundaries, or complete distance? Also, consider whether reality TV pressure sometimes toxicates personal relationships. Or does it simply expose what's already building up, like a pressure cooker inside? If you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you'll be the first to see similar deep dive updates, cast analyses, or behind-the-scenes reports. And if you want the next breakdown to focus on a celebrity feud, couple storyline, or cast drama, don't forget to comment below with that suggestion, because your voice, your perspective, and your curiosity shape exactly what we uncover next.